Hi, I'm Dee, and I'm at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, standing in front of a life-size model of the Hubble Space Telescope. It's been 30 years since NASA put this telescope into operation, and since we've had Hubble, we have seen views of the universe that we never even dreamed were possible. Part of that reason is because Hubble is located in orbit around the Earth. Looking at the stars from Earth presents a few problems. First of all, Earth's atmosphere can block some of the stars, but the biggest problem that we have on Earth is light pollution. What I mean by light pollution is that the human eye, or a camera, or a telescope, sees the brightest thing that is visible, and it tends not to see anything else. So if you were to go outside during the day and look up hoping to see some stars, the only one that you stand a chance of seeing is the sun, and you don't want to look right at the sun. That is very dangerous. So you're not going to see any stars in the sky unless you go out at night. Even then, you have to look out for light pollution, because if there's a full moon in the sky, or if there are a lot of bright lights on in your town or city or even your neighborhood, it's going to make it hard for you to see the stars. You're going to do a little experiment here that involves detecting the effects of light pollution on your ability to see the stars. If you live out in a rural area far away from everyone, you might be able to look up on a moonless night and see so many stars you couldn't begin to count them. But if you live anywhere else, chances are you're only seeing the very brightest stars in the sky. So for this experiment, the first thing you need to do is select one star that you recognize, that you can always find no matter what, and we're going to call that your reference star. Maybe it's a star in the constellation Orion or in the Big Dipper. Maybe it's the North Star. Whatever star you select, it should just be one that you can always recognize. And you can do this activity anywhere and any time of night, as long as you have your parents' permission to be out and looking at the stars. What you're going to do is you're going to make what I call a star counter. It's just a piece of paper or cardboard with a square cut out in the middle of it. And what we're going to be doing is looking at how many stars we can count that are visible just in that square. So to do this, you're going to go outside at night, you're going to find your reference star, you're going to hold the star counter all the way at arm's length, and you're going to position it so that your reference star is visible in one of the corners of the star finder. Now when you first do this, you might notice that you have a little problem bringing it into focus because you have two eyes. This is what we call binocular vision. Either the square is going to be out of focus or the stars are going to be out of focus. So to make sure that you can position your reference star and count the stars in the square, the first thing you're going to have to do is close one of your eyes. Just make sure that every time you do this, you're closing the same eye. So I'm going to find my reference star, I'm going to close my left eye, I'm going to line that star up in the corner, and now I'm going to count every other star that I can see in that square. And I'm going to count my reference star as well. And I'm going to keep a note of this in a log. And over a period of time, every time I go to make an observation, I'm going to note how many stars I see. So let's say I go out tonight, I find my reference star, I count 23 stars total in my square. I'm going to put in my journal the date, the fact that I saw 23 stars, that there was no moon in the sky, and there were 5 lights visible in my neighborhood. 3 nights later, I might go out again, and once again, I'm going to find my reference star, close my eye, position that star, count what's in there, and note it in my journal. This time, I only saw 5 stars. There was a full moon, and there were 15 lights visible in my neighborhood. Keep that journal over a period of time, and you will begin to see the effects that light pollution have on your ability to see the stars. Then I want you to ask yourself the question, based on what you've learned, where would the best place be to put a telescope if you want to see the most stars possible? Post your answers and your questions in the comments here, and we'll be sure to check on them and get you back any answers that you need. And in the meantime, I'm just going to tell you to keep looking up. This is Dee from Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Have a great day.